business is amazing. It's beautiful. Everyone wants to start a business. There are thousands and hundreds of thousands entrepreneurs out there, and many more wants to join the entrepreneurial business. You want to become an entrepreneur. So many aspiring entrepreneurs. But you know what? It's not just about starting a business. It's all about staying in business. It's all about sustaining the business enough for it to take care of you, take care of your family, and solve problems. And not just that, take care of generations to come after you. Have you wondered why places like Sam's Club, Walmart, Amazon, and all these big stores were able to stay standing till today, and you're enjoying their services? Because they had discipline, they had strategies, and they failed many times. Yes, most times we think that failure is a bad thing, but failure is not a bad thing. So today, point number one, don't just quit your job to start a business, but rather start a business, run the business until it pays you. How do you do that? Number one, you have to know your numbers. Your numbers are very important. It's super important that you understand your numbers and how your numbers work. So let's be more practical. An average American earns like $1,000 every 2 weeks, right? I mean, $800 to $1,000 every 2 weeks. And that means if I want to use even numbers, I'm going to say you make $2,000 a month. And now you want to start a business. And say, oh, maybe if I start a business, I'm going to make more money. You can't quit your job just to start a business because you're going to lose the $2,000. Remember, even when everything else is variable, change is constant. So what it means is there are things that will constantly continue to change. And there are things that, will actually stay constant that will not change. Like your bills. Your bills are constant. They are not variable. They won't change. You have your car notes, you have your mortgage, you have your rent, you have your utility. You have all these things. You have your credit card bills. All those bills are constant. They're always there. So it's important that you have a residual income and you have an income to sustain your business, to sustain yourself, let alone your business. So I think it's unwise for you to just run and quit your job to start a brand new business. It's not advisable. So it's important that you understand this. These things, they don't teach you in church, they don't teach you in schools, they don't teach you anywhere else. So you're opportune to hear this. A lot of people say, oh, I started my business, or maybe you're watching a family member or a friend and they started their business and they're doing very well and you just want to follow suit, and you hear a lot of motivational speakers share, when I started my business, and in 6 months I did this, or in 3 months, or in 1 month I made this and I made that. That is not 100% true. They are not telling you how many times they failed. They are not telling you that they had regular jobs, part-time jobs, PRN jobs that sustains them and sustains their business. Most of those rhetorics are just marketing tips. They're just marketing rhetorics, and it's just so shameful, and it's just so deceitful, I beg your pardon, that they tell you all these alluring things and awesome things that you hear, but you try to do them and they don't work. It's because it's not real. So before you quit your job, you want to make sure that the business can pay you more. So to be practical, let's just be practical. You make $2,000 a month. It means that before you can quit that job, you make sure that the business that you're running is already paying you $4,000 a month. Because if the business is going to pay you just the same $2,000 a month with all the stress and headaches in business, then it's not worth it quitting your job. Because you might think that, because I control my time, that's a lie. Point number 2, why entrepreneurs fail. Entrepreneurs think that when you start a business, you control your time, or nobody tells you when to go to work, nobody tells you when. Yes, that is true, but it is the shortest way to hellfire. Hellfire in business, like burning out and not being able to continue your business. How does that work? Nobody tells you when to show up for work, and on a good day, you show up on your regular job at 8 a.m. But not because you're the boss of your business, you don't show up at 8 anymore, you show up at 2 o'clock, at 1 o'clock, and you stay in bed as long as you listen. A little sleep, a little slumber leads you to frustration and shutting down your business. You need to develop discipline as a new entrepreneur to stay in business. So if you used to report to your job at 9 o'clock in the morning when you were working, when you become an entrepreneur, it means you need to report to your office at 8 a.m., not even 9, because that is how the company that you worked with sustained their business with that discipline to be able to hire you and give you that time. So how many of you realize that before you even get to your job, your boss is there? No, they're there because they were there 2 hours before you got there, because there are all their internal business that needs to be taken care of before you, which you don't know about. So just starting a business without learning strategies to sustain your business, without learning discipline, without learning the tricks, doesn't help you. Now, guess what? Don't just start a business without having an idea of the kind of business and what it entails to run the business. Before you start a business, it's very important for you to learn what it entails to run the business. What are the shortfalls of the business? What are the things? We are quick to learn the things that will keep us and sustain us in business, but we often forget to learn the things that could kick us out of business. And those things are very, very important, even though they might sound minute, but anything that can keep you out of business is so magnitude and is so huge, even more than the income you make in business. So you cannot ignore it. So indiscipline keeps you out of business. Not showing up for appointments. Yes, being rude to a client and disrespectful to a client, those can keep you out of business. You say, okay, this is just one client. Yes, one client, and then this week, next week, another client, next 2 weeks, another. That's 3 clients. Now, what it means is one client could be 3, 4 referrals. So you might just look at it as one client. So when you lose one client, look at it like you just lost 10. Because one excellent satisfied client is actually 10 more satisfied clients times another 10. So you see how businesses grow? That's why your discipline and attitude must be on check. I know that they are frustrating. I know they are very annoying. But guess what? Regardless of how the attitude of your clients are, you need to remember why you're in business, and remember that every day, to remember that these clients are the ones that actually keep you and help you pay your bills and keep you in business. So you must respect them and never get carried away by the words of client. Keep it professional. Stay tuned. I'll be right back to give you more tips. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.